Time to get the hair cut. It has been a long time since my hair's been this long. It's been 3 months since I've had a haircut. Because of this coronavirus, we had to travel to Clarksville from Nashville for me to get a haircut. It's pretty exciting. I just want a haircut. So we went on our first camping trip. It was post-COVID, so all the campgrounds, we tried to go to like a state park, and they were all booked. So we found a campground that was not booked. It was up in Clarksville, Tennessee, and everything was not perfect. There were no lake views and all that. We actually were right across the street from a junkyard. So, not really nature, not the first camping experience we thought we would have, because it was also, on the other side was the interstate. This was not bad, however. It was a great little campground. We actually liked it. It was the perfect little place for us to, it was roomy. And it was the first place for us to kind of try out our new RV. And it got us in the neighborhood that we wanted to be in, which was up in Clarksville, Tennessee, which would get us to the state park that we wanted to go see, Port Royal State Park. Samson's out exploring nature at the Clarksville RV Park. This is nature. We're sitting outside the old Mallard in our old campground.
And Samson being such a look, he's looking under the RV. Look, he's looking, he's trying to.
There's people walking by.
You're being such a good boy. Look, if you could see his little head going like this, he's like trying to get under the view under it.
Now Mom's opening her birthday card.
This is from Mama.
Oh, I missed it. I missed the sign for Kentucky. So why Port Royal State Park? So as we get going in RVing, we want to go all over, but we're going to start by just seeing the state of Tennessee. And we're going to try to see all the state parks that are in Tennessee. And we live in Nashville, and Port Royal is one of the closest ones. It's up in Clarksville, Tennessee. So I had not been there since I was a little boy. And we decided to make the drive and go see Port Royal State Park. Dunbar Cave is in Clarksville as well. We were going to try to do that as well, but they were not doing the cave visits, and we didn't have time because we were only there for the weekend. So we knocked Port Royal State Park off our list. It's a mysterious bridge.
Oh, this is pretty.
The mighty Red River.
There's no flow to it, is there? It's a slow flow. This is so pretty. What is that, for a car bridge, or do we walk across that one too?
I don't know, baby. So like that's see that and that, and then that's where the covered bridge used to be. It's the Red River. And there's the Sulphur Fort. Oh my God.
Bridge started?
Yeah. So this is where the covered bridge used to be. When I was a little kid, I think my mom brought me up to this park, and we actually went on the covered bridge, and then it flooded at some point, and then in the 90s they actually tore the bridge down because the flood got the entire bridge. But it was one of the covered bridges in Tennessee. The only thing left now are on both sides these stone pillars. And then we took a hike. So there was a little trail on this side, so we decided to do that. All right, we're gonna go up this trail. Not the best maintained trail, but it'll do. And this is a pretty interesting little part of it. So you hike down along the Red River, and then I guess we're coming up to the top now, and hopefully we don't have to go back down. So there's two trails. If you saw the little building that we visited first, and then you cross the road there, and then there's that one bridge that's over on Sulphur Fork Creek, and then you can go down on the river, and you can see kind of the main bridge that's there now and where the old bridge used to be. And then this trail kind of runs kind of along where the covered bridge used to be. We've started to see owls again in Percy Warner. It's our favorite time of the year when the owls come out. What do you think?
It's pretty.
Small park, but
It's very pretty.
very pretty. So there's the trail that we were on. It kind of goes along the bluff. And there's the little weird bridge that we just went over, which was scary, dilapidated. Short little hike, but pretty fun. All right, so you come down those steps. I was honestly more impressed with Port Royal than I thought I would be. I wasn't expecting very much.
There's a lot of history.
So you come down those steps. We walked around, went down there, and then we got on the trail. And it goes up, and then it brings you out right here. You can go the other way too. I would suggest do it the way we did it, because you're going uphill and it's the payoffs at the end. Now the second hike that is at Port Royal is actually down the road a little bit, and it's across the Red River, and it's a real flat hike, but it's along the Trail of Tears, the original route of the Trail of Tears, and about a half mile of this hike is on that original route. We're lost in the forest. Do you hear the birds?
Right, we're staying on the left-hand side.
Emily's excited about the mud.
No.
I'm kind of lost. But this is the other side. I came down this part because it was kind of growed up. And I didn't want Emily to have to come down here if it wasn't anything, and it wasn't. And we'll just go back. We'll go back along the Trail of Tears.
Did I start crying?
The trail was much easier than the other one. Flatter, a little wet at places. But for the shorter, so if you're less adventurous, do this one. Port Royal, small park, pretty good. Do you like it?
I did. It's really pretty. I like how much history there is.
It'll probably be in last place on my state park list right now though. Just because it's so small. So when we go to an area, what I try to do before we go is I try to figure out where we're going to eat, and if we're going to stay at a hotel. We don't stay at hotels unless there's like a historic hotel or something there that we want to stay at. Figure out where we would like to eat. I figure out what attractions, and our attractions are outdoor attractions. Generally, they're parks, state parks, national parks. And then I try to figure out any hikes that we're going to do, because that's generally what we're doing. And if we're going to bike somewhere, I figure that out. And then I figure out if we might do some canoeing or something like that. So on this trip, we decided the Catfish House, which is a Clarksville staple. And it's right near the park that we were going to be at for the afternoon, Liberty Park. So we decided to get that, take it back to Liberty Park, and have a picnic.
Look at that babies.
And Liberty Park's a pretty big park. It's pretty flat. It's right on the Cumberland River, and there's lots of paths that they're paved that you can walk on. And then it's a pretty big park. There's a marina and all kind of stuff you can do there. We were there mainly to have a picnic and to go around the lake loop. Picnic in the park by the river. We're at Liberty Park. And then we're gonna go hike over there around that lake. We'll come back here with our bikes one day. What do you think, Mom?
Yeah.
What do we have for dinner? Catfish House. 0.7 miles around the lake. So we're gonna do that.
Went in Clarksville because we were RVing. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's like the one picture I sent you is like teenagers, and then the other one I sent you is like little elementary school ones. The little, yeah, they're still yellow. Gosh, here comes one right over our head. Where are they going? Their babies can't fly, can they? Do their babies fly yet? Oh my gosh, I've never seen a duck like that before.
Frogs. And this trail just wound up being quite a surprise. I mean, we were just kind of blown away by how pretty it was. It was a great little landscape. It was a great little trail around the lake, and there were birds everywhere. So there were geese, which were neat, but there were also just all kind of crazy birds that you just normally don't see, and they were, you know, singing and chirping, and then the frogs were chirping, and it was coming into sunset, and it was a nice little hike, especially to work off Catfish House. So Clarksville surprised us. We're going to have to make another trip back. So all the yellow things on this list we completed on this trip, so there's still a lot left to do, so we're going to go back. Our second trip is actually going to be to Clarksville as well, and I never thought that my first two RV trips would be just right up the road from Nashville to a city I could just drive to. But I'll be honest, the RV helps because you don't have to rush when you're there. I mean, you can spend time in these places and explore. And here's some pictures from the rest of our trip.